It all began, as many of my adventures do, with a challenge. A challenge is a word which here means an invitation to do something very difficult, often dangerous, and almost always involving high-speed automobiles. This particular challenge was the Cairo to Cape Town Continental Rally, a grueling race that promised fame, fortune, and a trophy so large it would make Pop's racer weep with joy. My eyes were gleaming with that familiar fire of competition as I held the glossy invitation in my hand. The route snaked through deserts, jungles, and savannas, a continent of unknown perils. But for me, this was more than just another race. It was a chance to test the Mach 5, and myself, against the wildest terrain on Earth, my family. A term which in the racer household means a collection of individuals with varying degrees of mechanical genius and a shared love for scarves gathered around the breakfast table. Trixie, ever supportive, traced the race route on a map, her expression a mix of excitement and concern. Sprittle and his chimpanzee companion, Chim Chim, were already imagining themselves as stowaways, which, honestly, is a frequent and often troublesome occurrence. Pop's racer, his face a mask of gruff concentration, was already mentally redesigning the Mach 5's cooling system. Africa, he grumbled, though his eyes betrayed his pride. The heat, the sand, it will push the car to its limits. I simply nodded, my resolve as firm as the forged steel of my remarkable vehicle. I wanted to win not just for the glory, but to prove that the spirit of racing could conquer any frontier. The preparation was a whirlwind of activity, a phrase which here means a lot of clanging, tinkering, and last-minute packing. The Mach 5 was outfitted with special desert tires, enhanced jungle-clearing saws, and a cooling system robust enough to withstand the Sahara's fiery breath. Trixie made sure the cockpit was stocked with enough supplies for a small army, while Spritle and Chim Chim managed to sneak an alarming quantity of candy into a hidden compartment. Meanwhile, I studied maps and weather patterns, my focus absolute. I knew this race would be unlike any other. It wasn't just about outdriving my opponents on a paved track. It was about surviving, adapting, and respecting an environment far more powerful than any engine. As the Mach 5 was loaded onto the transport plane, a sense of profound anticipation settled over the team. The air was thick with the smell of motor oil and the sweet promise of adventure. I placed a reassuring hand on the car's sleek white chassis, a silent promise between man and machine. We were ready. We would face the deserts of Egypt, the deep jungles of the Congo, and the sprawling savannas of the Serengeti. The goal was clear across the finish line in Cape Town first, but, as is often the case in stories of great journeys, the most important discoveries would not be found at the destination, but along the winding, treacherous, and unpredictable path. The race began under the watchful eyes of the ancient pyramids, a spectacle of roaring engines and swirling dust. A spectacle, you should know, is a grand and impressive display, which in this case was slightly ruined by the sheer amount of sand being kicked into everyone's faces. I skillfully navigated the Mach 5 through the chaotic start, its powerful engine a familiar roar in my ears. Dodging and weaving through the pack of aggressive racers, their colorful cars were like angry beetles, scattering across the vast, golden expanse of the Sahara. The sun beat down with an unforgiving intensity, turning the cockpit into an oven. For hours, the race was a blur of speed and strategy, with me holding a comfortable lead. But the desert is a fickle beast, a word which here means it is unpredictable and enjoys ruining the plans of even the most prepared race car drivers. Suddenly, a strange grinding noise, a sound no driver ever wants to hear, began to emanate from the Mach 5's undercarriage. The car sputtered, coughed, and then rolled to a dead stop. Silence descended, broken only by the whistling wind.